There are two kinds of people in every meeting. One arrives early, dog ears, pages 14 and 32, brings question no one else thought to ask, thinks about all possible inputs that they can provide. They build quietly. The other walks in 5 minutes late, smiles, drop a single shiny phrase like synergy, paradigm shift, or if you're in the tech space, it could be things like Gen AI, machine learning, LLMs. Pick your poison. And the moment that happens, the room forgets the work that came before. You leave the room with your notes, they leave with the narrative. And the gut punch? By the time the meeting ends, your research is buried. Their phrase is now the strategy. They are winning. Let's give this archetype a name. Let's call them Dave. And when this is happening, in your head, a story detonates. See, you don't belong here. Your work means nothing. You are not enough. That story, it's a fire I know too well, and it does not take any vacations. Speaking of vacations, let me tell you a personal story from a few weeks ago. I was on vacation in Hawaii. Paradise, right? It was beautiful. I love beaches, I love sea, I love the sound of the ocean. Everything was perfect. But for my FOMO and my anxiety, I packed my work laptop with me. And not just that, I also set up a very high stakes call with multiple stakeholders on, I think, the day 2 or day 3 of the vacation. I was not expected to work, but hey, now on this call, Dave was present too. Now, within the first 5 minutes of the call starting, Dave made a statement saying, I do not see any details or homework done here. Why don't you just talk us through what you want? And my heart just sank. I could hear the sounds of the birds outside the window, this perfect soundtrack to paradise. And all I could feel was the cold dread of being exposed. The details were in the meeting invite they had ignored. The homework was already done. I had individually spoken to every single person on that call the prior week. They knew what this call was about. In fact, they had asked for it. I had all the answers, but I did not speak. I froze. I just sat there in paradise, feeling the heat of my own shame. I spent the rest of my vacation furious, not at Dave, at myself, looping one single agonizing question: why do they have so much power over me? That question is the real work. The answer isn't because they are better, it's because they have mastered a form of social physics that we haven't. They broadcast certainty while you think in nuance. They create momentum field that pulls everyone in together, and most painfully, Dave is a mirror for our own deepest insecurities. The battle isn't really with them. It's with the version of yourself that believes that their performance is real, that they are actually winning. And I have to be honest, that's a hard truth to sit with. I wish I could tell you I have a perfect solution for that internal battle. I don't. I have been fighting the same question for years. If you read my Substack, I have written something about this 10 years ago. So I don't claim to have a solution. All I do have is a practice. a way of thinking that I am still learning, that helps me find my footing when I feel like I'm losing. This belief of not being enough sends us on a desperate external search for feeling of worth. And that search reminds me of a very old story from the Indian folklore. Is the parable of Kasturi Mrig, or as also known as the Musk Deer. In the high Himalayas, there lives this special deer. It has a gland that produces an incredibly fragrant musk in its stomach. The scent is so enchanting that the deer becomes obsessed with it, believing it must be the source of all happiness. And so, this deer begins a frantic, desperate search throughout its life. It runs through the forest and over the mountains, chasing the scent, which is always with it, but the source is always just out of reach. The deer spends its entire life on this maddening quest, never realizing that the very thing it is searching for, the source of that divine fragrance, is already in itself. That deer, it is us. We are running ourselves ragged, chasing the scent of approval from the daves of the world, desperate for a validation that we believe exists out there. We are searching for a fragrance that is emanating from our own soul. This isn't just a folktale. It's the cornerstone of spiritual poetry in India. The 15th century mystic poet Kabir captured it perfectly in a famous couplet. Kasturi kundal pase, mrig dhonde ban mahi, ऐसे घट घट राम हैं दुनिया देखे nahi, which translates to, the musk is in the deer's own navel, but it searches for it in the forest. In the same way, the divine is in every heart, but the world does not see. For our purpose, that divine is our own inherent worth, our substance, our integrity. So how do we stop this frantic search? How do we start looking inward? It starts by realizing you have been playing the wrong game all along. There are two invisible games in every room: the game of momentum and the game of merit. The game of momentum is won by appearing to win now. Its rules are confidence as a costume, visibility beats depth, spin over substance. This is frantic external search of the deer. The game of merit is won by building things that last. Its rules are doing the work you had to defend in private and letting time be the judge. This is quiet internal cultivation of your own musk. The brutal truth: the world often hands the immediate crown to the momentum. So, how do you stomach it? You have to remind yourself of the timeline. Momentum is sprint, merit is marathon. And the thing about sprinters, they burn out. You are not building for a single race, you are building a legacy. You can't win momentum. Stop watching their scoreboard. Start keeping your own. Call it a merit board. It is the tool that helps you stop searching the forest and start recognizing your own fragrance. So try this. When you have a quiet moment, open your notes app, title it your name merit board. Or like, for example, in my case, I will title it Anish's merit board. Write one thing from this week that you would defend in the game of merit. Maybe admitted I did not know, I finished the proposal even though it wasn't perfect. That bullet point is the evidence of your own musk. You are building a case file for your own worth. Next meeting, Dave steamrolls. You feel the acid rise. Don't wait. Open your merit board, even if it is in your mind, and add stayed true to my values while Dave played their game. Points scored. That's not envy, that's you collecting your winnings. A silent rebellion. I see your game, I choose mine. The Daves might keep winning the sprint. Applause follows the flash. You can't change that. But you are running a marathon. Your scoreboard isn't noise, it's legacy. That question I've carried for 10 years. Am I enough? I wish I could tell you that it just gets a final answer and disappears. The truth is, for me, it's not about silencing that voice of doubt forever. It's about making sure it's not the only voice in the room. I also pray a lot. I pray for patience and grace and help in the times that I am feeling low. Every time I remember to add a line to my merit board, and believe me, some weeks I forget, I am consciously turning up the volume on a different story, a quieter, more honest one. The doubt doesn't vanish, it just no longer gets to speak unopposed. It gets a counter argument, and that argument is simple. It is the voice of your own wisdom, and it sounds like this: I am building. I am learning. I am winning the game that lasts. And that is more than enough. Until next time, this is Anish, still becoming, right alongside you.